Kind of
I'm the bus driver.
Bus path. Players already jumping out. I would expect at this point a pretty even spread. That south side of the map, we've seen multiple times.
I'm diving in, boys.
Was typically kind of a heavy drop at that little village in the southeast corner. But I'm going to be honest, based on what I've seen from scrim games, Frosty Flights is typically a pretty heavy drop. Wailing Woods, the corners of the map have quite a few materials. Plus those storm wings, Jack, especially for mid-game rotations, are very important. It's not going to get you all the way past, let's say, circle 6, circle 7. At that point, maybe things are a little too tight. You have a moving circle, and people are going to start maybe shooting you out of the air. Yeah. But a storm wing will get you pretty far.
This is a sleeper angle, dude.
Games and skirmish events
this is like a resident sleeper
player
angle.
Count does not drop early, so you might be avoiding a lot of early game fights, but that doesn't mean you're out of the heat with a storm wing.
Looks like Closey landed just outside Lucky here, this very south side of the map. You see the top right of your screen. 100 players remaining, 50 duos left. The new update that came out in the patch notes, the bush, it's actually really, really good now, Lupo.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of a defensive measure, just like the Snowman did previously. So it is interesting to see players. I'm going to be honest, before this update, I probably would have, I would have been flabbergasted to see a player run around with a bush.
But now it might be a little more common as we swap on over to Paradise Palms. You see Ghoul and Lanai in a fight with Saint and Jacob. As they're going to go ahead and back away. Health advantage to Lanai and Ghoul. That's a name I'm still trying to... He's French-Canadian.
He's French-Canadian.
Yeah, so...
actually, there's a deep apology for many of us. We butchered his name in the past, but here we are trying to...
I'm going to still butcher it, just to be clear.
We're trying to get
I'm attempting, though. That's what counts.
Gray tack shotgun, a gray suppressed SMG sitting in Ghoul's inventory, 50 shield. Lanai's got 25. Looks like a stack of minis was found. Saint and Jacob there in the middle. Jay Cuddy and Punisher way out on the east side. And actually, they're not the furthest east. You can't see it, but there is one more player further past that. Looks like a duo split on the far southeast corner. Saint and Jacob, no shield between the two of them, but quite an arsenal here.
Bro, Saint has his own hat. That's actually cool.
Grenade launcher. 4 boogie bombs, which have come in clutch in very close range 1v1s we saw during warm-ups. Early elimination, Devious taking up.
Ooh, good stuff, good stuff.
Devious and his duo.
He might have get both right there, yeah.
And there comes the planes.
Stormwing coming on in. He's going to have to back out up for the moment.
This is gonna be a mess.
They want to get involved.
Unlucky, man.
4 shotgun shots left. He's gonna have to be quite accurate with these. Posey
and he just gets planed in on while he's trying to res his teammate.
Crashes down to the ground.
Yeah.
With 2 eliminations already.
With the turret. Yeah, just W key him, dude. We'll win.
We are running the
probably will.
The bonus on health and shield when an elimination happens. So.
Okay.
A little more aggressive gameplay, not necessarily a bad idea, Jack.
Yep.
Yeah, so basically we just get this free kill because we
even
planed
the
in on
first
him.
game when everything's kind of still up in the air, you don't want to play overly aggressive, but it does give players the opportunity.
Yeah, we spammed him with the turret.
Shield or
now we're gonna
HP
kill
advantage.
Because it's a
time to push
1v2
could be right after a hit,
just
and they know that they're going to top off potentially after finishing a player off. So it kind of changes the way that things play. We've seen in pop-ups, players playing a little more aggressively, going for eliminations when they wouldn't typically.
I was wondering when they were going to finally take out that heavy sniper.
There's heavy sniper him in there, boy.
Through one of these walls, through one of these areas to take down this 2v1. It seems like they're a little bit hesitant to do so.
Go do it.
Tournament environments changes a little bit of how people play. There, they finally do get a tag.
Not aggro enough.
On the player just on the other side, shots coming on in, and there goes.
Zyzek. There's other more interesting fights going on. Come on.
That was their plan.
You don't gotta show them looting. Come on. Come on, Fortnite. Switch the angle. They're walking around now. There's other fights going on.
A 2v1 situation doesn't necessarily mean you can discount.
Okay, interesting. Very cool.
He was sitting on quite an arsenal inside, as they had seen. He just took out a
duo before that.
Devious. So you never know what's in store. Do you push? Do you wait?
There's only 50 people per game. Oh, jeez. Okay, maybe there's not fights going on.
They have to move about halfway past Loot Lake to make
only
it all the way
50
to
per
safe
game.
zone. And that north side, by the way, just south.
Usually Fortnite always fills it up to 100.
With only one team in Tomato, they might run into it just by default since it's out in the open with Ziff. Povesy gonna farm up out here. The metal. You have to realize too, lower material cap based on the pop-up cup stats.
Yep.
They're gonna try and farm and hit that cap as early as possible.
Now there's a lot of action going on, as we mentioned. One of the duos that was randomized, just like all of these, was Aiden with Butter. Butter, our last-minute entrant, and here's a replay that happened.
Oh, 50 duos?
Aiden and Butter in a fight with
that's like a team. Oh, I see how this goes. So that's like full duo. That's
Gets
Okay.
knocked though, so it's
Stop,
up to
yes.
Butter to make the clutch play and watch
Come on,
this.
Butter.
This
Come on,
man
Butter.
wasn't
No,
prepared
you
to
can't,
play
Butter.
this. Comes here to just test the servers, and then now saves Aiden, one of the best players in the world.
Oh, we're about to
And
see a Nick Mercs versus Aiden.
No, Harmful and Nick Mercs have now
Oh,
played
yeah.
the top of Big Red.
Fortnite
Butter
always
and
looking
Aiden
at
are on
this.
the
They
back
always
foot.
look at this
The
fight. It happens
inevitable
almost every game.
Battle of Tilted has begun.
I feel like we've seen
Alrighty.
this a number of times in the past.
Yes,
I
we
don't think
have.
anybody's complaining. Aiden and Nick Mercs often seen
Let's see who
toe-to-toe
has
here
the better
at
aim.
Tilted Towers. This time, Butter and Harmful. It's interesting too. Nick Mercs and Harmful both tend to drop tilted, and the fact that they're paired up for this.
Yep.
That's a match made in heaven for a
Nick
tilted drop,
Mercs
Jack.
and Butter?
Another thing to
You
point out
mean
as well. Want to make sure
Aiden
everyone
and
at
Butter?
home sees this in the
Still use?
spectator client right now. You might be wondering a couple quick little things. One, the where exactly is the material count? Well, that little build icon with the 70, that means they can place 70 materials, meaning they have around 700 materials they can use. Butter with a ton
I
of
don't
his
like
name, but here
that.
comes
That's
the
like
fight.
weird.
Aiden gets knocked. It's Harmful and Nick Mercs pushing on
Okay.
in. This looks like it could spell disaster for this duo. Aiden
Yeah,
has been
they're getting
eliminated.
fricked.
Butter all by himself against Harmful and Nick Mercs.
Getting
Good
fricked
luck,
up,
my
boy.
friend.
Down 50 shields as well. Nick and Harmful both sitting at 100. Quite a disadvantageous position. But we'll
Bulls.
see if Butter, he looks like he's trying to bait either Nick or Harmful in and just go for a quick shot. Try and catch somebody off guard. They're searching for him. He's trying to stay crouch walking around underneath. He does have a trap there. See if he can bait them into it. Looks like his position is known. He's going to have to try and build some ramps to defend. The shots coming through Harmful and Nick both making connections, and Butter goes down. He was able to save Aiden in the previous engagement, but this time around, Nick Mercs asserts dominance.
Nick Mercs and Harmful win Tilted Towers back on over to Paradise Palms. That fight earlier from Saint.
I don't know if
School,
I'm
looks
gonna
like
be
Jacob
able
and
to
his
watch
teammate
this
have
whole thing through,
popped
guys.
back
I'm
in.
not kidding.
It's Saint. Now
Yep,
popping
my favorite
off
gun in the
Reds.
game.
It
Great
looks
tap.
like
Oh wait,
there's no
not
way.
worth it, dude.
Way he's gonna be able to get him. Nope.
Yeah.
Down goes Jacob and Saint all by himself.
Why didn't they even
Another
build?
2v1 situation. He's not the only one here, though. There are a number of other
Ooh.
teams kind of circling.
Still have some builds. Yes,
Sharks
yes,
in the
yes.
water. Jack looking to see if they can pick up a third-party Elam. These early
You have
game
8
eliminations
builds, dude.
often very key in securing
All those settings
the
bug.
check
fall
points
damage.
Yes.
for overall
They're
points
100,
for the
100. They're
event.
gonna bob 'em.
Even just 1 or 2, and you pick up a couple late game can make a huge difference.
Someone on
You
a
do
zip
have
line,
81 players
like,
left,
that way.
43 duos total as this first circle is coming to a close.
Yeah,
We
this
will
ain't
see
working out
where
for
the
Saint.
next
Dude, unlock.
rotation happens. Looks like it's centered basically just
He
northeast
got away,
of
though, I
Chippy Shafts,
think.
right on the river.
And you see how much Saint is trying
Oh,
to farm up
we
to
shouldn't
get
have
any
full brick
material
net.
possible. He can only build 14 walls. Or
Oh, we go get shot in the back by Ghoul.
between the metal
Oh no,
and
Ghoul
he
going
has a
killed.
nice shot on the
Yeah,
Ghoul.
buddy.
That puts him at 2 limbs, trying to push this duo towards a
He needs
potential
3
first
kills,
point.
correct?
Brilliantly done there. Remember, they need 4 limbs.
He doesn't know
at
they rotated
least
yet. He's
to
gonna
get their
waste his
first point on the
explodes.
board.
I freaking knew
JK
it.
and Punisher, they kind of avoided an
Now he
initial
knows.
drop. They landed on the east side. This was
Oh yeah, Punisher just got
team
picked
I
up to
mentioned
complexity
earlier, just on the edge.
today. I
Didn't want to get
believe.
an early engagement,
Very
but now
cool.
might be the time if they know that Saint is by himself, or at least can try and
Gotta
figure
go.
out
All
where
right, see you, man.
he might be rotating to or from. We'll see if he swaps out that green tack shotgun for a blue pump.
And there's a look at the map at the bottom right of your screen. A little bit small, I know, but at least you can tell exactly where this zone is. So Nick Mercs and Harmful, for example, they're
They
still
should
sitting
zoom in on
pretty
this
inside
boy.
Tilted Towers. You see barely anyone on the north half of that zone, Ben, but on the other side of it, everyone's flooding from the south side of the map. It's going to get hectic quick as players move towards
Heck.
this second circle.
Surprises me to see.
your boy
You'll actually
walking
notice,
past.
Jack, there are little steering wheel
chilling, dude.
icons are vehicles, and they're
Why are they
they're
showing
less
Saint
vehicles than I
manning
kind
up,
of
bro?
anticipated at this point to see rotating around the zone. Only a few players, a few duo teams in Stormwings right now. We have Nick Mercs and Harmful in your bottom right there. They do have a team challenge.
They know he's on screen, so they keep walking
Tilted
past him.
Towers. It's
I'm
Naga
just kidding.
Ops, Vacaros.
Nick at 114 structure he can build. When you look at this inventory, it's kind of got everything you want right now, Ben. You've got the shotgun for the close range engagements. The SMG is there for the ready.
You got
and
full
ready
brick,
for the
dog.
kind of spray down fights you need to get into. The AR for the mid to
Oh,
long
he's
range. The
replacing that.
sniper rifle, if you can hit those shots, can be devastating. And finally, the mini to heal on up. It looks like Nick Mercs and crew are trying to claim.
Why
the
are
big
they
break
just like
building.
They could be showing people who are rotating right now.
I want to point out
but they're just showing people who are in zone, like, matting up. You feel? Look at these guys. I want to watch them, like,
that's a huge bonus
like
to spectators
going in here. They're not taking advantage of this. These people are like.
Keep in mind too, storm surge
going in on a plane, right?
There is a damage
freaking student aspect, dude, psychos.
These players have to be above in order to avoid.
And they just show Nick Merckx matting up
in the middle of a game.
Yes.
The idea there is to kind of we'll say trim the fat, you know, keep the.
And they keep showing him.
Not necessarily engaging as much as others.
Yep.
Maybe give them a.
You can see who Fortnite
motivation.
favors.
Exactly.
See who Fortnite favors.
Again.
Look, now they hopped out and they're going and rotating. That's interesting. I want to see people. Oh, more people matting up, dude.
76 players left. They're above that number, which will then trigger the storm surge. You see on the middle right side of their screen, it tells them exactly how much damage they are above the threshold. Meaning right now, Naga Ops and them are safe. They won't take the storm damage. We're going to continue to plop through these different players as we take one final.
Yo, I don't know if you guys knew this or not.
But now over to 72 hours.
See, look, this is what you should be watching. Thank
Not
you.
a fun spot to be in at all, it appears.
I am in the skirmish, and I'm lounging,
picking up the first elim.
I'm freaking lounging straight up.
Himself and 72 hours, and they do have Cease's teammate kind of stuck in a 1-by-1 in there.
Pretty low, right?
Learson hiding underneath. At this point, even though 72 hours, Tom is low.
They're like
Learson doesn't necessarily know that, so avoiding a push at this point is probably the most important thing. Maybe even hoping for a third party, but it's not enough. Couldn't wait it out. 72 hours and Dark secure ownership of that wall. Get the edit, and Learson goes down to a pump shotgun.
And yeah, he just ripped him up with that. Remember, because of the 50 HP on the elimination, he goes from 29 health to 79. He's going to pop 2 minis as well. And now, 72 hours has a rift to go in his inventory. You see right there, smiles from Dart. The fist bump comes in. I'm sure these guys don't play together a ton, but it's one of those unique experiences they get to get at a major competitive event. Being randomized in these duos. It's awesome to see.
I think it speaks volumes to the fact that these players, a lot of these
dude, this chair's actually so comfortable.
Fortnite competitive players, they all know each other. They're scrimming, you know, every single day, every week, hours on end, honestly, and you know, they mess around with each other on Twitter, they make jokes and stuff. So there's a lot of there is a lot of camaraderie here, and I love seeing that between players that are even in they're in a competitive environment against each other.
Yep.
And like you said, Tom and Dark probably have not played together before this. I'm not sure. I apologize if that's incorrect, but the fact they got matched up and immediately can connect and start making plays together is huge.
Absolutely.
It's huge, man.
It's great to see as Seth and Ronaldo right now.
I need someone to watch this with, dude. This is boring.
Off that body. Remember, you get that elim, 50 of each material is rewarded in the player.
This is like low-key boring.
Right now, still no individual players above 2 eliminations, but some of these duos could be.
What's this you watching? It's the secret skirmish.
Interesting to see the first team that does establish that. You see in your map there, the rotation for that storm. We're starting up here in the next 3 seconds as players tilted. The north side of the map, the northeast side of the map, you have a few out in the middle. Everybody's going to have to start moving south-southwest.
They have to make a rotation.
Things are going to start to get tight, Jack. Even on the north side of what is the next safe zone, you already have a number of teams stacked up in their little, you know, their structures right next to each other. And you have players that have to rotate into the same location.
Yep.
Gatekeeping is going to be absolutely massive on the north side of the river. Ronaldo and Saf going to have to start pushing past Tom and Dark. 72 hours just kind of waiting an opportunity to get into a build fight here. And you can see Tom establishing a top-down view on his opponents. They are not worried about an engagement. You see here this rotation against the bottom floor, a low ground warrioring their way in. They don't want to get in a fight. They don't want to have to push anybody at this point. They are more worried about the safe zone, storm damage, and putting themselves in a much better position. Actually moving ahead of 72 hours and Dark, potentially the best play possible because they put themselves in a gatekeeping position. They're not even in the safe zone yet, but they get the opportunity to take shots because they took the chance to move straight past, just build those structures right above them, you know, tunnel their way in and get inside.
This is such
look at all the chaos happening.
You see the clingers already
and they are legit
from Schmecht and his duo. Sap and Ronaldo.
They're just showing why is Sap so interesting, dude?
Double setup of the 1x1s there, a little panic build as he's now down to 48 builds, still with materials left, but again, it's
easy 5 months, yo, odd with the 5 months, dude, let's go. Let's go.
Running lower and lower on materials. So much action has already gone down. About a third of our lobby has been eliminated. I'm sure we missed a couple quick things, but thankfully we've got Sundown to keep us up to date.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Jack. We're going to jump right on into some of the action that we missed before. Here's some really good pressure.
Thank you, Sundown.
Nekops and his partner. Making sure he uses that sniper to close off the wall. And the gray tack shotgun, it gets a lot of flack. But in the early game, that high rate of fire allows them to put down a ton of pressure on unshielded opponents, and it rips through them. Able to convert on this 1v2 situation. And despite
they killed
Sexual! 2 nice elims. Now, switching over, we're going to see a nice 1v2 situation here in the Storm. Deuces and Tickers, they have a Stormwing down there. Rusky is trapped on the low ground.
Okay, they have a Stormwing.
Way down, they put the pressure, clean up the elim, not taking too much storm damage because they're able to jump in the Stormwing, run away.
Nate Hill, what's up, dude?
We had a Nate Hill on the low ground to pick up Blue Tea, and he regains the high ground, leaving himself in a position to drop shots on stage. Really good rotation, and then coming out, the last one, we're going to talk about securing elims. We saw the snipe to get this, but you want to lock that up and make sure you get that bonus 50 shield on hit, cleaning up Lenon down there on the low ground. Great play from them. Can't wait to see
Is it Lenon or Lenon? I don't freaking know.
Sundown,
you hate
one of the
Nate?
most
Why?
knowledgeable members of the Fortnite community about all things competitive. Great to have him on the team this week.
Oh, is it lagging already?
I mentioned a couple different eliminations happening over the course of the
yeah, why are they doing the
64
storm
players left, 36 duos total.
There are still 64
I think it's
64
lagging.
players in the circle. And one of the most notable duos we mentioned earlier, the one that we're kind of keeping our eyes on, Chap and Cloaksy. Chap with a single elim, just under 100 builds.
By the way, guys, this is a Fortnite hosted event. Oh, yo, look, I'm Chap, bro.
Does not surprise me at this point.
I'm just chilling right now. Now moving a little bit.
More secure, strategic gameplay. No one
but like,
this
is a Fortnite hosted event, and they're playing on stretch res. That is like a first.
That was a deagle shot into the wood wall right next to Cloak.
That's cool that they actually.
That
now maybe they'll do peripherals.
Already.
That's another really important thing.
Oh yeah, shots on Sheep and Dobai.
You know, custom peripherals. Your custom. You know, you have to switch your mouse to play in this event. Usually.
Super important because if someone comes up behind Dopai and Sheep, Cloak can take the opportunity to get an elimination or two for his duo.
They're showing the action. Yeah, I know. They're
Looks
just
like
showing the popular.
They might be safe at this point too. Jaeyoung and Blind just above them. Out of the southeast, and that
wow, they got stink grenaded. This is
the zoning ability
crazy.
of the stink, incredibly.
Oh, it happened again. This is nuts. Oh my gosh! Wow.
To rotate even more, burn through more builds.
And they're only 51 damage above that damage threshold. There goes Dopai and Sheep. It seems like for the moment they can breathe. As you've got Jaeyoung and Blind and Takata all nearby. The next zone has been revealed.
Frost is getting yoinked by the storm.
56 players remaining. You see Jaeyoung and Blind very happy to be in this new zone. Cloaksy and Chap were in as well. They're just on the cusp
this guy's
of that damage threshold. But now this is where these lobbies begin to drop like flies.
Very cool.
When everyone's
Bro, this
got to
guy's
begin to
lounging.
move. 52 players remaining right now, but expect that number to dwindle quick.
Jaeyoung and Blind looking for any opportunity for a third party to catch someone rotating. That's Frosty and Saint just behind the hill there.
This guy
not on the same team, but Jaeyoung's trying to take advantage of the opportunity there. A lot of loot sitting out in the open, and Tyler's going to swing in just past. You see him shoot past the screen right there. That launch pad being very important for rotations. 50 players left, 49 players as the next storm starts to push, and everyone that is stuck outside of that white circle in your minimap is going to be in a tough spot, a forced rotation. You're looking for people to start popping their rift to goes. A launch pad, you're going to see a lot of people recycle launch pads to try and move into the safe zone. Players will literally land on
but Rings is going to be on stretch res, and Fortnite doesn't want it to be on
still running here, still alive. Multiple teams. Looks like Nick Merckx knocked down in there. It looks like actually Tfue had knocked Nick and secured that elimination. Nick Merckx out of this first game. Cloak and Chap sitting on 4 eliminations. That means they have secured a point already, Jack. An excellent spot to be in. The leaderboard, very important even in these early games. Every single elimination counts. Chap and Cloak both having to build and defend themselves. The edit's very important.
This point is terrible. Yeah, it's pretty laggy.
They want to make those walls.
I'm going to guess end game. It's going to look like crap. Like, it's going to look really bad.
And there's still a launch pad of the inventory of Cloaksy. They're actually close as well.
I'd rather watch in stretch res. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but casual players are going to be complaining.
Circle. We're about to be on storm 6 of 9.
Here we
go. They're going to have a minute to make this move. 38 players remaining, 24 teams. So there's a lot of solos out there now, Lupo. try to clutch on up.
It is pretty cool that Closey got paired up with Chap.
Here we go. The train now begins. Morgassi, bottom left of your screen. Nolan as well. Two of the players. Well, you see Morgassi, the winner of the summer skirmish. You got Nolan, the winner of the winter skirmish. Still both in this lobby.
Yoinkies.
Rotation and just outside the zone. Some players try and push as close to the edge of the storm as early as possible. They want to be on the front of the push. The effort to try and get into the safe zone ahead of everyone else is extremely apparent. Morgassi building out of his mind to try and get up over this hill.
He's using a lot of mats, dude.
15 builds,
14 players are going to be right behind
9, 8, 7, 6. He's
going to be out of mats.
He's got no builds left, and just like that,
he was out of mats
through and hits him right in the face.
He did pull up. He pulled up.
His own window. Cloak is coughing behind. Other players are still rotating in, and Chap is going to be left all by himself. He's not going to be able to go out. Actually, look, the storm is rotating back. Chap might still be able to get to him if he a lot of hustle to get there. It's not. There's not enough.
Yeah, there's no way you go for that in that situation.
No.
But because of the zone, I think he's gonna. Yeah, he can stop and pop this med kit.
So what if someone has a heavy sniper though?
They've also got their tunnels that they've already used. 23 players remaining. Chap with 3 limbs to his name. Sam with 3 as well. Looks like Bowman now knocked. Vivid still alive, but barely. They do have a combined 4 eliminations, which will give them 1 point. Remember, via placement, you need to be top 5 to earn a point or placement in this duo competition. Vivid just bouncing around.
Vivid got that clean cut for this event.
Materials, only 33 players left. Also only 21
get beamed,
AR
Funk
shots.
Bomb.
That's a knock on the Funk Bomb. Can he go for the full cleanup?
He don't got that many build though.
As of yet.
At this point, it might not be a big deal. The hope
he's
that
got 100 mats left.
Gets caught by another player rotating to the same area.
Oh, he's fricked, bro.
Everybody's got to move east, southeast, Jack.
Oh!
6 eliminations.
Are you kidding me?
All right.
I think they just got to 8 with Tifu still alive. Oh no, they didn't. Okay.
Demo and Tifu are popping the frick off.
Either way, 7 eliminations so far.
I knew this would happen.
That's gonna wind up putting them at 2 points in this game.
Now it's 8 eliminations, Jack.
Oh, they're on the big bonus.
Big bonus to start off game 1. 9 comes in. It's already a big bonus. 2 teams remaining. Can this be a ridiculous first game for DMO and Tifu?
They're gonna pop the frick off.
They can go for max points plus the big bonus.
Well, they don't even like have to.
Shields.
But if they do, there's a big bonus for it. You dig?
Sam and crew trying to drop bomb down. Tifu the target of both enemies right now.
I'm spooky for him.
And chunks him down. It's a 2 versus 1. Tifu and DMO already with 10 eliminations. The big bonus has kicked in. It all comes down to Sam. The man has 3 limbs alone.
Demo has 9.
Advantage in this game.
Freaking
Not
God.
many builds left. You see Demo still with 40 structures.
Demo with the hot carry, dude.
Here's a split of the duo. Sam up top with the heavy sniper rifle, trying to look for the opening.
He doesn't even have mats.
Still playing this low ground.
Demo, drop him some mats, dog.
Well, if they'd like to. This is just game 1. Sam charging on in. DMO and Tifu trying to break through these walls. Sam's still on the high ground.
You're gonna break your teammate down. Ooh! That Tifu jumped around and bopped him, dude.
11 eliminations.
High Sky died. It's not High Sky. It's a different High Sky.
What a surprise.
The lyrical elimination.
Tifu's on top.
Absolutely
it was Demo.
Unbelievable. These two, Ghost Gaming and FaZe, both have to feel
Tifu got 2 kills,
fantastic about that. And this duo picking up the first victory royale. The final moments here, you see Sam trying to assert dominance with that top-down view, but height isn't always the advantage. DMO and Tifu both applying pressure constantly. You saw DMO there shooting out the surface.
Yeah, Demo's such a good support player.
So Tifu could get that one last shot
in,
get that last elimination. Secure the first victory royale of the day, Jack.
Yeah, that was like
really
good.
A 9-point game?
It was indeed.
I think it was a 9-point game from DMO and Tifu. My goodness, folks.
Good.
Talk about an electric game 1 performance. You see Nick Merckx smirking in the background. There's a reason why Tifu is still the winningest player in Fortnite prize money history.
Doesn't surprise me at all. And regardless of the elimination count, you know, DMO had 9, Tifu had 2. That duo had 11, Jack, and that speaks volumes to how on top of the game they were every moment of the way. We even caught DMO in the middle of that. You were saying 6 eliminations, and then suddenly just snaps the shotgun over and picks up a 7th and 8th, and they just keep on rolling. An unstoppable force every moment of that game.
If that's a sign of things to come, those two could be on top throughout the day. Insane performance to kick off game number 1. Reminder, we have 6 matches we're playing today and a whole nother day of competition tomorrow with the solos. I mean, I don't know why we even doubted him. We should have talked more about him in the intro. Now I'm mad, but either way, I believe we've got our players on the floor with an interview.
Hey guys, I am joined by Tifu and Demo. Absolutely outstanding performance, 10 eliminations and the victory royale. But
victory
royale!
royale!
Demo, 9 eliminations. That low ground shotgun rampage. What was going through your head during that?
Nothing. Tifu was just turtling in for me, so I was just gun out, just trying to kill people. It's really it. Just got lucky, I guess, with people around us, and it happened. Wait, did I guess? I don't know.
A lot of adrenaline going through your mind, clearly, and Turner, amazing job as always. I mean, one elimination, I'm sure there was a lot of assists. I did see that you did not have...
I think I had 2, yeah.
2, oh, 10, okay, sorry, 2, double that. I did see on Twitter that your Valentine is Cloak, but after this gameplay from Demo, can you maybe see him becoming your Valentine after today?
Absolutely. I was just turtling in, and all I could hear was just, got another one, got another one, got another one. He's dead, he's dead. I was like, what is going on, bro? There's like nobody left, dude. Chill out. It was crazy. No, he absolutely slayed out that last game. It was definitely an ideal first game, for sure. So I'm hyped.
I am very hyped, too. So going into game number 2, do you plan on changing anything up or just rinse and repeat?
Rinse and repeat, I think. Maybe ram a couple kids with planes or something. I don't know. We'll see.
That's the meta.
Gets fun here after getting that big bonus. Well, guys, congratulations on your first win, and good luck in the next one.
You know, it's got to be quite the surreal feeling to hear from Tifu that he couldn't believe how insane you were doing when many regard him as arguably the best player in the world.
I hate to say it, but maybe a TwitchCon flashback for Tifu. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I believe we have some stats actually for them for that game that I'd love to take a look at here. Total damage dealt 1,422. They took almost as much, 1135.
Here, I'll be
7 shotgun eliminations of the total 11. That 7 means a lot, Jack. That means they were on top of their opponents for a majority of the fights.
Why is Tifu always like this?
And that doesn't surprise me. A lot of competitive Fortnite comes down to those close range fights because building at this level they excel. In a level that not a lot of players can kind of match. You see them building extremely fast, branching when the storm is moving, and the awareness that's required. We did see some players get caught off guard.
I think there was a Fortnite notification that happened.
And actually, to talk about those specific plays, I like to
all these motherfuckers are talking.
Thank you so much, Lupa. We're going to catch you up on some of the action you might have missed and break down some of these clutch plays. First, we're going to open up with a pair of close quarter combat plays from our favorites, Chap. We're gonna see how he's able to execute in this position when under pressure. Notice how the stink grenades are right on top of him, forcing him to move over and over. Pulls out the RPG and then immediately follows up with a pump, getting that third elim, setting them up to pick up a point later on. Now flipping over to Tom Dez here, able to utilize his ability, edits down. Great shot picking up number 3, and then catching Bizzle out in the open, cleaning up the teammates so he gets the trade back. Really needs that help, so he's able to.
I want to see Bala, dude. Where's Bala?
Is
he going to analyze it at the end of the match or something? I don't know what's happening.
Now this snipe, we caught it on broadcast, but such a clean reaction, making sure he's flicking up, saw him secure that, now dropping down Kevy, the longtime BR vet on 52 HP. We talked about those shotgun rampages on the low ground. He's going to get one here, cleaning up the Siren, making sure those shots are on point, and then Corrosive around the corner. If you could have finished him, that would have been game. Unfortunately, you run into Demo, who was on that low ground rampage, and was able to turn around and clean him up. That 95 pump shot hurt, but Demo is able to rock away with it. Absolutely incredible play from game 1. But bringing you game 2 is going to be Kitty Plays and PookieFace_. Ladies, what do you got?
Where's Bala? We want Bala. We want Bala.
We want Bala. The incredible,
Smith there now.
Beautiful PookieFace, and we will be casting the next game for you guys. What an end game. I mean, overall,
I'm guessing Bala's going to be one of the casters.
Such a pleasure to watch, and I can't wait to see what's going into the next game. But I'm sure you guys are curious about some standings after all that end game chaos. So let's pull those up.
See, these voices, it actually seems like it's me talking.
I mean, Demo and Tifu taking first place.
I have a higher voice.
11 eliminations. 9 points total, activating that big bonus. Coming in second was Bowman and Vivid with 7 eliminations.
That was a really good game
4 total points for them. Chap and Cloaksy bringing up third place, 4 elims, total of 2 points.
Yeah, it's really cool to see Cloak and Tifu already doing an outstanding
job. By the way,
being in that top 3. I was mistaken in the interview. They were able to.
That is not the young High Sky, all right?
Was right. He did
That's it's High Sky.
Good job.
In my opinion. It's High Sky should change his name because the other, like, young High Sky is like,
he's a great
you know,
player.
it gets confused, you know, and like High Sky already big,
on his own, but,
you know.
Heading into game number 2, like, what are you expecting now? These guys have had a chance to find their drops, figure things out, see who's landing with them, totally randomized players, hopefully get some synergy going. What are you thinking about as a player moving in?
I mean, honestly, watching game number 1 was already the most exciting thing I've witnessed in such a long time. I can't wait to see kind of how these guys, like you said, navigate the second game. Kind of, they've got the synergy going now a little bit. Let's take a look. We've got the battle bus dropping all these players off on the island.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm the battle bus driver.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, we have people like Demo and Bizzle who love dropping in the divot, and then we have Cloak and Turner who typically go to that bottom right corner of the map. So now that they've got these new teammates, they have to navigate that, and all these other new players that they haven't faced yet. There's lots of people that are coming up.
Let's see where I'm dropping, boys.
From the winter qualifiers. It's just the most exciting part of the game, in my opinion, the early strategy portion.
I mean, game number 2.
Hold up.
What do you think is going through?
Where's someone that's dropping
right now? I mean, they're sitting out there, away from us.
What is this angle? I hate this angle.
Their nerves are kind of calmed down.
They used to
They're
see
starting
people like
to get into a little bit of a groove with these games.
But they just show the map. That's like Resident Sleeper. You feel?
You've played in a lot of these competitions. How do you navigate this as a player? What are some of your tactics that, you know, to calm your nerves and to get settled in and kind of just go with the flow of things in these games?
Take a few deep breaths, remind myself I've got nothing to prove, it's still a game, it's gonna be fun. Don't think about the fact that there's a huge prize pool on the line and hundreds of thousands of people watching, and just get into it. I think a lot of these guys early game, they need to make that decision. Do they want to be an early aggressive team, or do they want to just wait to get that loadout?
The delay that's happening.
To have those resources and feel comfortable before making those rotations.
They got, are these guys like teamers? They aren't fighting.
I love to see Dementos and Base Soldier playing together. I had a chance to talk to them briefly yesterday, and they're both very excited. They're both very talented players, and seeing them together in this event, I think they can make something happen.
Oh, Tanda's gonna bop this boy. He's gonna bop him. 3, 2, bop!
It's amazing.
I mean, we've got a little bit of early action going on here. It looks like Dementis and Base Soldier were not the only 2 players that decided to actually drop here. So we've got a little bit of a scuffle started early. 0 players have been eliminated. Let's see what happens here.
Ooh, nice shot.
Yeah, we've got Dementis on
Tanda's
top with
pushing.
the high ground, and Base Soldier taking shots from the side. But
Dementos pushed in and got bopped
with a pump shotgun.
Now his teammate's gonna try to frick him up. Oh, they won that.
Base Soldier kind of just trying to navigate the basement here, go through his builds. These players don't have very much when it comes to builds right now, so he's trying to reserve, use maybe just a couple of cannons coming out here. Looks like they're having a little bit of a dance battle. Clingers are back in the game, however, so he will use those to break down Mateus's metal. He is very low on mats, so he is looking to kind of come back and disengage.
What an angle.
But let's just take a look
at
and
that
see how Base Soldier navigates the rest of this fight. He looks like he's
trying
to pull a
awareness.
flank on him, make the walls his
Not
own, so that he will be
Come on,
able
push
to
with your
easily
teammate.
edit.
Your teammate's gonna get picked now.
But it looks as though his other soldier, Dementos, does have eyes right now on Mateus. So they're tracking him through this basement, all the while just getting down, boogieing and discoing the whole time. My goodness.
Yeah, having this music in the background, it's definitely a difficult area to fight in because you don't have the same footstep audio that you typically would in quieter areas of the map. But it looks like they are unable to locate him quite yet. I'm surprised that they do opt to join up together, and he's gone. He's gone. Where did Pookie? Where?
Mateus says, "Listen, guys."
Wait, he went down, and you know that plane spawn I was talking about earlier? He found the plane, and he headed over to this nice little turtle structure to get some loot, and those 2 are still searching him. Over that in-game music audio, I don't think they heard him.
I don't think they
didn't
heard
hear
him either. Not at all.
Wow.
Here we
Slap
are
IQ's in the chat.
Slobbings and FPS.
Slap IQ.
Talked to Slobbings a little bit yesterday. Did you know that man is an incredible singer?
I did not know that.
He is so good.
Did he sing for you?
He did. He sang me "Fly Me to the Moon."
Whoa.
Yes.
How did I miss this? So not only does he love going tilted and is an incredible fragger, he also has an incredible voice.
He's great. Look at him there.
Well, keep that in mind, ladies, okay?
Let's take a look over at Dayamak and see what he is up to. He's got his partner here, Kevy. They're over
Retail
just
Row.
Yeah,
South of
retail there. Down by the
I want that pickaxe so bad.
To snipe from. Good high ground, good vision into retail.
Get a freaking TSM
they're looking to possibly engage and clean up here any early fights. It doesn't look like there's been very many. We still have 96 players alive at this point, Kitty.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane, considering there's only a certain amount of points of interest on this map. Having your duo partner, you're bound to run into people, and only having 4 players eliminated, it definitely looks like these guys are taking more of a passive role. Maybe after game 1, they've realized how important it is to get those placement points.
I low-key want to start playing Fortnite already.
We did see Demo and Tifu take advantage of that big bonus, but the rest of the group wasn't able to do that. So
I don't know, dude.
Definitely focused more on placement, positioning, getting that loadout that you're comfortable with, and then moving into the next zone.
Now, the players have been here for a couple of days. We've been fortunate enough to talk with them and kind of talk strategy with them a little bit. And, you know, I think the general consensus yesterday, or what I was getting a feel for, and you can definitely correct me here if I'm wrong, but a lot of the players said that they were going to, like you said, take a more passive approach, try and get to the end game, and then just third party quite a bit to rack up those kills, get those eliminations, and get their points that way. And I think, honestly, that's the general consensus at this point.
No
panic, definitely with these guys. Those late game engagements are super, super important and do really help get those eliminations. But we do have these guys maybe looking to get an engagement on the east side of the divot. They're hurtling up against these natural resources. One of my favorite things in this game are things like the rocks, the things that you don't have to build, where you're not going to give clue to the other people that you're there. They're able to get a shot on Patek, I believe his name is, and he does see the engagement. These guys aren't really pushing, just, you know, making sure that he knows they're there, and now rotating into the next zone.
And he does take shots at that new infantry rifle, just added into the game today. So if those of you at home have not tried it out yet, highly recommend. Has an excellent rate of fire, does a ton of damage, and is super accurate. So if any of you kind of like,
you gotta be good at it though,
and the heavy assault rifle,
it's accurate, but you gotta lead your shots.
Amalgamation of the two, you're gonna love this weapon.
Or does it just have like?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but I've seen a lot of the players choosing to pick it up over other weapons, which is great to see. I love when they add a new weapon in the game, and it's something that the pro players are immediately picking up and taking advantage of.
Certainly, and we see Patek here and his partner kind of just rotating. They did have to kind of make their way into the zone. Next zone is coming to a close in 33 seconds. So, you know, where they're kind of at right now,
is like 1 minute ahead of the YouTube one. Oh, Pog, I'm going to YouTube.
Of the rotations
I'm gonna try the
other
YouTube
players
one then.
coming in.
Isn't it IGN live? Here we go.
We're gonna do a little bit of a build battle and take out some walls, make them his own, so that he can edit and effectively use the shotgun to get some damage out on Aegis. Aegis does drop down, however, and does look like he is going to be starting to turtle.
The thing is this worse quality?
There's a lot of edits going on, a lot of building, not too many shots being taken. These players are still kind of getting a feel for each other. It is only match 2 for those of you that are joining us from at home. So we have a ton of exciting Fortnite plays that I'm sure we're going to be seeing over the next 4 matches.
Yes, $100,000 in prize pool to give away to these random duos we have with us. But keep in mind, the zone right now is in that top left corner of the map. These guys are now recognizing, is it worth it to take that engagement to fight the other team at the cost of taking that extra storm damage? So you see Aegis is finally making his way out. He does escape with his life, and I think it's just the storm pressure on the other team that causes them to rotate so early. And
you can see there, Aegis' stats did pop up. He had over 12,000 build damage, so damage to structures done. That just goes to show these guys really aren't taking shots on each other. They're just destroying their builds and trying to, you know, play the game that way. It's not a bad idea, actually, with the way this game mode is set up. You know, you only have 500 of each material, so resources are stretched very thinly.
See, I tried to be thin,
and if you can utilize shots to take out your enemy's resources, that's just another way you're going to put yourself in a better position for endgame.
And I think what a lot of that was the Turtle Wars. It's the removing of the wall, replacing of the wall, removing of the wall, replacing of the wall, little standoff that they had at the south side of that zone. And right away we see these guys getting advantage of the mountain, taking that high ground near the center of the circle and using those resources to build their little 1x1s and hopefully take some advantage of shots on these players as they rotate in.
Yeah, we did get a look over there. Jay Cuddy over in that area. You know what? I just have to do it. I have to say it. Have to shout it out. Jay Cuddy turned 26 years old yesterday.
Oh,
so happy birthday to Jay Cuddy. I hope he does well today. That would be an excellent birthday present. But we do have Dark in 72 hours here, engaging with a couple of other teams.
Persecute up top high ground. We did see Dark in 72 hours take advantage of fights like these in this last game, and now they're looking to do the same. Dark taking shots, taken out by Persecute. Now it's up to 72 hours to take advantage. He is in a 1v2 situation. Do you see that at the bottom right corner, there's another player that looks like they're pushing in.
Oh!
Using
He's not happy about that
sniper, taking out the wall, and pump shotgun to the face is going to put him back in the lobby. But Persecute and Zykick taking advantage of those two.
He's not very
and,
happy.
The way that they were split to get those eliminations.
Now we do see Tfue and Demo up on that mountain there, just kind of assessing everything. We have Zayt down here using the SMG to try to break through
Why is Zayt's camera angle so freaking...
You know, just utilize the potential RPG, shooting the RPG through the window. Zayt has a ton of weapons in his inventory right now that are excellent for breaking through structures and walls very, very quickly.
He's like right in the camera, dude.
Kind of develops.
Look at the facility. Yeah, that's like kind of beta.
All trying to get to the ultimate high ground that Demo and Tfue, they've already claimed that real estate.
Those guys are relaxing till the end game, where hopefully Demo is able to perform the way he did in the last game. And you see Zayt and Blue T taking advantage of that split fire. They've positioned themselves a little bit separated, so they're able to shoot at different walls while their opponents were trying to get those kills off. Does cause them to maybe get a little bit more confused, not be able to put those walls up right away and get tags on them. But they do now make the rotation to the other side of the mountain, maintaining that high ground and just perch up on the side.
Dude, it's 5:30.
teams alive, 69 players in total. This mountain is going to end up being a very hot spot, I think, for these guys. You can see that Junk Junction is still in indeed, but there's really no one in there. All of these players kind of gravitate.
They want to be on top of the mountain in case anybody's on the
Butter is still alive. His partner, Aiden.
Yo, Aiden's getting fricked. And this is why you watch the Twitch stream.
This bar now looking to get into the zone. He does have
it's
other
back. I was about to switch to
him.
Twitch.
Looks like two of them are fighting in the zone right now. Just got a knock on him. Oh!
Butter does take a lot of shots here. He's trying to determine where the shots are coming from. Unfortunately, was not able to. That was Bowman
Unlucky, dude.
Coming through the storm and taking out Butter. That's unfortunate. But in case you guys are just joining us, we are here at this secret skirmish at an undisclosed secret location. Game number 2 of duos. We had Tfue and Demo take game number 1 with a total of 11 eliminations. Can't wait to see how they fare in this game. But we're looking at Nick Merckx here. Nick Merckx is arguably, Kitty, and I know you're going to agree with this, one of the best controller players in this lobby. He's so just methodical with his shots, and not only is he very mechanically gifted, but he makes excellent rotations and excellent decisions. So him and his partner,
are they going to try to get that
I think are going to fare very well today in this duos tournament. We have Dakota kind of sneaking up a little bit on him here, but this is, I think, at this point, just going to be, you know, a little bit of a turtle war again.
A little bit of a south standoff. They do have that rift secured. They are camping it, waiting for the next zone to pop, and now they need to make a decision. When are they going to use that? Are they going to
you gotta dip, dog.
Oh,
you You gotta go
it
it.
Looks like soon because the other team above them decides to use it and make the decision for them. And now they're taking the Rift and probably looking to take that best position advantage. Where do they want it? Do they want original
someone
high
killed
ground?
that
Do they want to
llama,
make their own builds?
unlocked.
Or do they want to take advantage of another team that's already built and
Aiden
build
went
on top
a
of them?
little
And you see
low.
Harvard pushing up to
Now
the
he's gonna
base
get
of this build
lasered.
with Blind. We saw who did excellent at the Ninja Vegas event and build their structure. Now they're going to look to take some shots on the enemy teams pushing into the zone.
Yeah, and you know what, while we're sitting here kind of waiting for everyone to get into the next circle, why don't we talk to Cypher about some of the mid-game highlights that we've seen so far.
Cypher's here.
Absolutely, guys. We got some early action with Ziff and Pavzi in a 2v2 in Lazy Link. Ziff takes out Devious, and Pavzi is holding the high ground right here on top of Monster. They both pressure him from different angles, and they get these first 2 elims to start off round 2 of the Secret Skirmish. Great play and great positioning from both these players. Over here, we have Sheep in a 1v2 situation against Grenades and Nate Hill. He takes out Grenades and thirsts him for the shield, and then after getting into a bit of a build fight with Nate Hill from the low ground, he's looking for that angle. Eventually, he takes out Nate Hill with the SMG spray into the pump shotgun shot. Very amazing play from Sheep. 1v2 against 2 of the best players in the world. Guys, let's kick it back to the casters to continue game 2.
Yeah, and there we have Sheep in Junk Junction, still alive. He does not have a teammate, but that didn't seem to matter in that last engagement. So
Unlucky, my dad died.
What strategy he decides to take
in game.
Sheep is looking very, very confident. We were, you know, like I said, talking to some of the players yesterday. Sheep comes into these lands.
Shank, thank you for the one sub. Can you teach me how to
very
get women?
calculated, clinical.
Get all the women.
He doesn't let things get to him too much. So having Dopai kind of out of this match, I don't really think it's going to affect him very much at all.
No, not at all. And right away we see 51 players still remaining. It looks like they're building a new Tilted Towers here in Junk Junction. And looks like Sheep has found his way onto a legendary RPG, which you can only achieve now from the supplied crates. That's a new change in the recent patch, one that I really, really like, and I'm glad they made that. And you see him watching that wall. He knows another player's on the other side of it. You see the little breaks coming in, and he's going to make sure that as soon as that goes down, he's going to get his own wall there and not be edited on by his opponent.
And we're taking a look at Germ down here in the bottom right-hand corner of this screen. He is also playing a solo game at this point. Kitty, what do you do? You're alone, your partner's taken out. How do you navigate that? How do you really, you know, take that game? It's not impossible to do. We've seen it done so many times. Give me a tip.
I think you play it out exactly the same way. Make sure you're getting those great rotations, and you have no one to watch your back, but these guys know how to build. They're very, very talented solo players, so he's just going to make sure that he gets in his zone, he feels comfortable, and he relaxes. There's no pressure on him to fight. He really wants to be getting those placement points and taking advantage of that. So you'll see him just here turtle up, take advantage of the chaos of the 47 players that are left in this 5th zone. And yeah, I think he's just looking to make a little bit of noise now, get those edits, and just make sure that he knows who is where and not put himself in a bad situation.
Yeah, definitely. Now we can see here shots are starting to just fly around the map. Things are going to start getting way more chaotic as the next circle closes in. Here we go. This is it. This is the moment. This is what all of these players are in scrims doing every night, training for this exact moment. We have Kayuzi there, Vide. We've got Mateus hunkered down in a structure as well. Psychic, Persecute, also in a metal structure. Everyone kind of just wanting to take shots, but you don't want to draw too much attention to yourself at this point because all it takes is one other player to notice your head peeking out and you will be sent back to the lobby.
Oh, and right into that 1v1 of Bizzle, one of my favorite players. He's already done 471 damage this game. His partner, Triggy Soares, is a controller gang player, and I think the two of these matched together is going to be amazing. Bizzle is known for his great strategy, his clear rotations, and his great game sense, so having a teammate like Triggy to help him secure those eliminations is going to really do well for him. But and these guys are sitting on a rift. That is an ideal situation. And Sheep able to pick up another elimination, or 2 more eliminations since we've seen him. Absolutely outstanding solo gameplay.
like we said, he does have that RPG, does have the compact SMG and the shotgun. He is going to be able to heal up to 75 with the bandages at this point. But Bizzle and Triggy utilizing, like you said, that Rift to go to gain high ground on all of these players. And they still have a launch pad on top of that. So mobility going into these end circles is very important. Bizzle and Triggy Source, they got it.
Yeah, Bizzle is meticulous. He loves the high ground, and you can see him talking a lot. He is making most, if not all, of the in-game calls right now for his teammate. And like whenever we go to these high ground spectators, it is almost always Bizzle that has that high ground. And you see him making a push over, and nobody really noticing that he's up there right now. There's a little bit of chaos now that the zone is going to be a moving one. And you see everyone down below. Mid-ground, high ground, low ground. Everyone doing their best to get the zone. And hopefully get some tags on these guys as they make their rotate.
Yeah, Bizzle trying to take shots to, you know, when you are using your glider or your umbrella, you are vulnerable for a moment. So Bizzle really trying to capitalize on that, get as much damage as he can. Even if he doesn't get a knock or an elimination, it doesn't matter. This is endgame. All you want to do is try to apply pressure, try to get damage on your opponents. It doesn't matter if you get the elimination or the knock.
Look at that
You're
skin,
wanting to apply pressure.
Are they on random skins right now, or are people using some wacky
they're just
skins?
Easy targets to be taken out.
Yeah, it is. There's no way that these guys are getting the revive now with these moving zones as well. So that knock pretty much equates to an elimination. And we see Ronaldo and Saf, who currently have 5 eliminations, taking advantage of the stink grenades and the clingers. One more elimination is going to put them in that 2-point range for the main board.
And they just got it.
And
there it is. Saf secured it. So
speak of the devil, these guys.
Look at you.
Job.
You are just, I mean,
oh, and Bizzle, Triggy, like I was saying earlier, that firepower. When you put a controller player on the high ground like that, especially one as amazing as Triggy soars, he is going to be getting those eliminations. And these guys are now at 7 eliminations, heading towards that big bonus territory after that 8th. Amazing job. I mean, and ultimate high ground. Like, what did I say? These guys.
You've got the premonitions today, Kitty.
They've got so much high on everybody.
You want to make a prediction right now? Right now.
I think they gotta drop down.
Bizzle.
All right, she called it. Let's see if she's right.
There you go. Triggy getting another elimination on Kiwi face.
Just Kiwi, I feel so bad for you,
blanketing across, and now opting to drop down a little bit more.
I feel so bad for you, Kiwi.
He knows exactly when he needs to drop down just that little bit, and when things are starting to get a little bit scary, you never want to hold ultimate high ground when there's not as many players. Now there's down to 4 players. It is Triggy versus I think Ronaldo and Saf still, and these
SMG console, dude. It's crazy.
2v2 situation, and this matchup absolutely insane.
Oh, Triggy is gonna drop down a little bit. He takes out Saf, however. Triggy does go down. But it doesn't matter. Bizzle is there. Kitty. Oh my god.
2 for dead, yeah.
Oh, do I get extra points for that? I mean,
I think you just won the duos tournament. I think we just give it to Kitty at this point.
Wow.
Everybody watching at home, put it down in a